My name is Michael Santos, and I'm really enthusiastic to continue our course on the digital economy. Today, we are going to be discussing Litecoin, another altcoin. I am the founder of Prison Professors. For those of you who are coming into this lesson late, I was in prison for 26 years, and I'm deeply committed to helping more people who are serving time in prison, whether it's a state prison, a jail, or a federal prison, helping them learn how can you emerge with your dignity intact and with opportunities to prosper. It will not happen by accident, and I really want you to learn that the world is changing. That is very encouraging because it will not discriminate against people who have a criminal background if you could understand the digital economy. But in addition to that, it's changing in another way that if you don't have skills, it will be harder to find a way to earn a living. My job is to teach people, how do you earn a living? How do you become prosperous? How do you succeed? And that only happens by investing in yourself. I work to invest to try and change the system, but I need every person in prison to be working to change themselves. That helps my work. That's the symbiotic relationship we have together. Now, in the previous lessons, of course, I hope you've have had access to our course, Preparing for Success After Prison. If you have not had access to that, see if you can get a family member to visit prisonprofessors.com so that you can get access to that course. But if you're just starting on this course, great. Make sure that you start from lesson number 1 and move your way forward so that you could learn all about the digital economy. Today we're discussing altcoins, as I said, lesson number 17. I am going to start reading now, and I will provide some more commentary on the other side. So participants should recognize that when we learn about the digital economy, we simultaneously learn how to create opportunities. We might fight one of those opportunities with Litecoin, LTC, sometimes referred to as the silver to Bitcoin's gold. In 2011, Charlie Lee created Litecoin as a peer-to-peer cryptocurrency. Reports show that his primary aim was to create a lighter version of Bitcoin, offering faster transaction times and lower fees, making it more suitable for daily transactions and microtransactions. Now, this lesson delves into the origins, purpose, and technological innovations of Litecoin, and the lesson will also offer ideas on how prison professors could potentially use Litecoin to leverage initiatives that support people transitioning from prison to society. So Charlie Lee, a former Google engineer, introduced Litecoin to the world in 2011 with the intention of improving upon Bitcoin's design. Litecoin was one of the first altcoins, created using a copy of the Bitcoin protocol, but with modifications to increase transaction speed and decrease block generation time. Litecoin's creation marked an important milestone in the evolution of cryptocurrencies, demonstrating that the blockchain technology underlying Bitcoin could be adapted and improved. So what are some of the key features of Litecoin? Well, number 1, it's got faster transaction times. Litecoin's network aims to process a block every 2.5 minutes compared to Bitcoin's 10 minutes, allowing for quicker transaction confirmations. It's got increased maximum supply. There will only ever be 84 million Litecoins, 4 times the total supply of Bitcoin, making it more accessible for smaller transactions. But as an investor, I will separately say it's also appealing to me because it has a finite supply of only 84 million Litecoins. Script in proof of work. Litecoin uses the script algorithm in its proof of work process, which is more memory intensive than the SHA-256 algorithm used by Bitcoin. This was originally intended to allow more people to mine Litecoin on consumer-grade hardware. Litecoin's design makes it an efficient medium for transacting value, especially for smaller day-to-day purchases or online transactions where speed and lower fees are important. It is widespread adoption and acceptance on various platforms also demonstrate its utility as a stable and reliable cryptocurrency within the digital economy. Our team at Prison Professors envisions a scenario where we could leverage Litecoin's fast and cost-effective transaction capabilities to support people who are transitioning from prison. We always want people to work toward earning freedom, which is why we urge participants to share their stories. Now below, we offer a conceptual use case example integrating Litecoin with a system to recognize self-education efforts for people in prison. Now here's the objective: to create a system where people in prison could earn educational milestone tokens for completing books and publishing book reports using Litecoin's blockchain to track and incentivize educational efforts. But how would this work? Well, first, we would need to use Litecoin's smart contract capabilities to create an EMT that represents proof of educational achievement. Each EMT would be awarded upon the completion of a book and the submission of a corresponding book report that we would publish on a person's profile at Prison Professor's Talent. Now, if we develop these smart contracts on Litecoin's blockchain that automatically verifies the completion of a book report submitted through a secure digital platform accessible within correctional facilities or on our website, and once verified, the smart contract issues EMTs to the individual's digital wallet. Now, encouraging donations in Litecoin is a dedicated fund that we would want to create to support reintegration efforts. The amount of Litecoin each individual could claim from the fund would be directly proportional to the EMTs they have earned, incentivizing continuous self-education. Now, allow individuals to redeem EMTs for various integration support options would be super important. We'd want to be able to document and memorialize your completion of educational courses, vocational training, or anything else to qualify for the seed money that you could use for entrepreneurial ventures post-release. The smart contract converts EMTs into an equivalent amount of Litecoin, which is then dispersed to service providers on behalf of the individual. So we'd want to implement a public ledger on Litecoin's blockchain to transparently track the issuance of EMTs donations received and funds dispersed. This ensures accountability and allows donors to see the direct impact of their contributions on individuals' educational progress. Now, we want to collaborate with educational institutions and reintegration service providers to accept EMTs converted to Litecoin as payment for their services, ensuring a wide range of opportunities for individuals to apply their EMTs toward meaningful reintegration efforts. So by tying tangible benefits to educational achievements, people in prison would be more motivated to engage in self-education, improving their prospects post-release. Transparency and secure are other features of this proposal, because utilizing Litecoin's blockchain ensures that all transactions and token issuances are secure and transparent, building trust among participants, donors, and service providers. We would also want to convert educational efforts into practical support for reintegration, directly linking self-improvement during incarceration to opportunities for a successful transition back to society. Anytime we are striving to introduce an innovative way of thinking, such as measuring justice through a person's effort to reconcile rather than by turning of calendar pages, we should expect resistance and challenge. That's why we need to think about what the other side, what people who do not want people in prison to have opportunities to earn freedom, who are they and what are they thinking? A token economy can help us bring meaningful reforms and overcome objections. But first, we must address accessibility, ensuring access to the necessary technology for incarcerated individuals to participate in the program. Verification, developing a robust system to assess the completion and quality of book reports accurately and fairly. Partnership development, establishing partnerships with stakeholders and service providers willing to accept cryptocurrency as payment for educational and reintegration services. This conceptual use case demonstrates the potential for Litecoin. With evolving smart contract functionalities, prison professors could use Litecoin to support innovative programs that incentivize excellence, recognizing each person's efforts toward personal growth, development, and reconciliation. Now, in the next lesson, we're going to learn about another altcoin, Monero. Before I get into that, I want to go over the investment portion of these lessons. And I wrote this particular lesson on Friday, February the 23rd, 2024 at 3:44 Pacific time. And at that time, the price of Bitcoin continued trading in a range. When I looked on Coinbase, it was $50,827 a coin. My total investment at that day was $192,202.76 for 4 Bitcoins. And the total value of that coin on that given day was $203,308, representing a gain of $11,100 since I purchased the first coin on January the 31st. Separately, I also had purchased an ETH that had a total cost to me with fees of $3,021.22. And at the time that I was writing this lesson, it was worth $2,927. Now, I'm going to provide you with the values of those various altcoins on the day that I wrote the lesson, but I also found another site, which I will share with you right now if I can find out a way to do that. It's right here. Now, what you're seeing right here is a site that I've discovered. It's called CoinGlass, and it's showing you the value of these various assets at today. Because I'm filming the video on March the 6th at 9:30 in the morning, and we're seeing how those prices have changed. You can see the price of Bitcoin right there. It's gone from the $50,000 when I wrote this in February, which is only like 2 weeks ago, to now it's trading today at $67,000. ETH is trading at $3,817. Some of these other ones that we've covered, Dogecoin there is trading at 16 cents. So you're seeing this in real time of what's going on. There's ADA, and all of these are coins that we're covering in our lessons because we really want you to see this is real. These are real funds. And so in future lessons, now that I found this little course, I will be turning to that. I could also turn to the Coinbase account, which we've discussed, and you could actually see what does a chart look like, okay? How is Bitcoin moving? And you could see how it's had a really volatile session, right? It's going from, you're seeing these ranges from, like if I switch it over here, you can see these ranges changing, and you can see it's like going from 63,000 to 69,000, all within a few days. So it's a very volatile asset class. It's something that everybody needs to be concerned with. You could also see, I could also show you on this asset class how my personal investments on it are changing. So I told you at that time I was only having 4 coins. I've since graduated to 10 coins, and you're seeing how the value is changing every day. And the reason I want to share that with you is I want you to recognize that even though you are in inside of an institution without many opportunities, I want you to see that even though you may be in prison or you may have a felony background, nothing is going to block you from reaching a significantly higher potential. Now, as always, I need to give a disclaimer and tell you I am not a financial advisor. I'm a guy that served 26 years in prison. I've been home for just not even 11 years since I finished with the Bureau of Prisons. But I built a lot of businesses, and now I get to do what I'm super passionate about doing, and that's making a bigger impact on the world and helping every person in prison come out with your dignity intact, with opportunities to prosper. But the main message I've got to tell you is that none of this can happen without you investing in yourself. If you went through our original course, Preparing for Success After Prison, you know that's what I did, and you know that's what you should see me doing it right now. This is real time what I am doing. I am showing you how I am learning about the digital economy thanks to my collaborator, Ryan Salem. I am developing more knowledge, and I'm putting my own money where my mouth is, and I'm showing you how I invest. and how it is increasing my net worth. I mean, I've invested so far, like, I don't know, 500 grand or 550,000 or so, but it's already up more than $100,000 in like a month and a half. So it's volatile, it's changing, and I want you to see this digital asset because it should show you that you can create your own income streams, but not if you don't spend your time in prison learning, developing your vocabulary, developing your critical thinking skills, developing your knowledge of a digital economy. And one of the ways, and then you've got to memorialize it. And one of the ways you can memorialize it is by responding to these 3 critical thinking questions. Number 1, how does Litecoin's design contribute to its utility as a medium of exchange for everyday transactions? 2, in what ways could Litecoin's transaction speed and lower fees impact the effectiveness of micro-donation platforms for reintegration efforts? And 3, how can the transparency and security offered by the Litecoin blockchain enhance trust and accountability in charitable initiatives? This is all part of our effort to build a pathway that hopefully will persuade stakeholders why they should incentivize excellence. We want to build this record that will allow you to do what I wrote about before I got out of prison, which is to earn freedom. We want to help people inside understand why they should invest in themselves. And everybody's at a different level. It doesn't matter to me whether you went into prison as a physician or an investment banker or a lawyer, or you went in there without it, like I did, without an education at all, as a young man facing multiple decades in prison. Or I don't care about your adjustment in prison before or any of that. The only thing I care about is, are you investing in yourself? Are you working to be a law-abiding, contributing citizen? Are you building a story? Well, if you're doing that, I'm going to ask you to do it in the same way that I teach in our introductory course, Preparing for Success After Prison. Because if you do that, we are going to obliterate the mediocrity that comes out of prisons, which is just a pathway to intergenerational cycles of failure. It is a pathway to unemployment or underemployment. It is a pathway to homelessness and more problems with the law. And how I am defining success is by trying to show more people how to come back with their dignity intact, with opportunities to prosper. And if that makes sense to you, then start investing in yourself today, because the world is filled with happy talk. It's filled with people who talk about what they're going to do. I'm a guy who's lost 26 years of my life to prison, who came back with a singular goal of becoming successful. Not successful like the system defines success, is getting a $12 an hour job and being, 10 minutes away from poverty and a life that's demoralizing and emasculating. I want you to come back to society and crush it. If that's what you want, then this is the right course for you. If you want to be a victim all your life and complain about what's not being offered to you, then this isn't the course for you. I'm not for everybody, okay? Just the winners. You decide whether you want to be a winner or somebody that's talking about what they're going to do and doesn't invest anything in themselves. I will never lie to you, and I will never ask you to do anything that I didn't do. I could not do this without support and sponsorship, and I meant to say this earlier, from the Righting Wrongs law firm that makes it possible for us to do this. That's our sponsor. And also from whitecollaradvice.com, another one of our sponsors. They provide the resources that allow me to do all of this, and we depend on you to do your part. I also really have to thank my collaborator, Ryan Salem. I couldn't have done this and learned about the digital economy had I not spent so much time with him as he volunteered with our nonprofit. But I'll tell you one thing again. I am Michael Santos, and I'm the founder of Prison Professors, and on behalf of our entire team, I just want to say we believe in you. I hope you believe in yourself. You can do so by sending us an email at interns@prisonprofessorstalent.com. Make sure that you write subject line digital economy course so we know where you're coming from. If you don't have access to a digital system, go ahead and use the old snail mail and send it to us at Prison Professors, care of Digital Economy Course, 32565 Golden Lantern, Suite B as in boy -1026 in sunny Dana Point, California, 92629, where we don't care what your background is. We just care if you can make some money. Be cool. Bye-bye.